What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 455 of Community Universe Mode and number 120 of Friday Night Genesis. Of course, the go-home edition for tomorrow's Wild Card special event. 7 matches, 5 championship matches. Every single Genesis champion will be putting their title on the line, guys, against a completely random challenger we will not know until we actually are at the event itself. Every Genesis superstar eligible, though, names will be put into a randomizer, and whoever gets chosen gets the opportunity of a lifetime. It is going to be one hell of an event. Interesting to see what kind of concoctions we are going to get. If last year's wildcard is any indication of how crazy it can be. But first, we've got a stacked card, as always, and remember, we are just 1 week away, guys. The next weekend, the 3rd annual Absolution will play host to not 1, but 2 Royal Rumble matches for the first time ever. A championship will be defended inside of a Rumble. Paul Devine puts his world title on the line against 29 other Fusion superstars. And then, of course, the 6th annual actual Royal Rumble, where the winner headlines the 3rd annual Homecoming for a World Championship matchup of their choosing. Night show, it is some tag team action as from 7 Deadly Sins, Mark Intel and Zach Cage team up to take on Vintage, Big Ham Joey Bacon, and the human fish himself, former light heavyweight champion El Jefe. This matchup stemming from 2 weeks ago when Mark Intel was having a bit of a fit, a bit of a breakdown in the ring, and El Jefe actually came out to try to console him in a way. Mark Intel instead saw an opportunity to let his frustrations out, brutalizing El Jefe, ending with a powerbomb down onto a set-up steel chair. So El Jefe was out of action last week, but now he's back with his 500-pound friend in tow to take on the 7-foot-tall mastodon and fellow sinner, Zach Cage. Mark Intel, a former Anarchy champion. Zach Cage, a former Anarchy World Tag Team and International champion. These two men, a part of the deadly new stable that John Reed has brought to formation. Of course, we'll see 2 more members in action later on in our co-main event when Chaos and Order take on former World Tag Team champions Click, Xander Slate, and Randy Morton. More tag action also tonight, as we'll see Zach Smith and Kevin Silva take on the team of Nicholas Hemmerling and Twisted. We've also got, which of us definitely make for an interesting matchup, guys. Will Bob Luger and Chris Andrews be able to work together towards a common goal of taking out the Bloody Brit? Can the Bloody Brit and the Work Ethic Titan remain on the same page for just one night as they look to take out Guri Sukhanov, who last week attacked both men backstage? Remember, Guri Sukhanov has enacted his rematch clause for Absolution. He will take on whomever is Alpha World Champion. Remember, the Brit has to defend his title tomorrow night at Wildcard. But Bob Luger has also gotten himself involved in the title picture yet again, as tomorrow at Wildcard, he'll be going one-on-one with Paul Anderson. If Luger can beat Anderson, he will be added to the title match at Absolution, making it a triple threat. Paul Anderson, of course, been on a roll 2 weeks ago, defeating Guri Sukhanov inside of the Elimination Chamber at Point Break, eliminating Sukhanov and Luger. Cass is confident that Anderson will be able to defeat the Cardio Maniac and keep him from that world title matchup. And here they come. Vintage! Big Ham Joey Bacon, the Arriba Man El Jefe, coming to get them some tonight. And I just got reports, guys, that Alpha World Champion Chris Andrews is actually rummaging through the backstage area, searching Mercury sucking up apparently can't wait. Just 2 matches. He wants some revenge now. Hopefully, Yuri Sukanov can remain unfound. I'd hate for something to go down backstage and miss out on what should be a good matchup. So here we go. The 7 Deadly Sins taking on Vintage to start off our show. Number 120 of Genesis. Referee Perry White rings that bell. Going to be Marcantel and Bacon. Bacon just immediately taunted right in Marcantel's face. That's not smart. Going to get some knees drilled in that fucking chest of his. Surprise, Marcantel's knee didn't get sucked in. Never be found again. Just break off his leg. Bacon fires back with a sit-out choke slam powerbomb, I guess? 2 7-footers face-to-face right here. This would make for a pretty disastrous one-on-one matchup. Hope that ring's been enforced. Swift kick to the gut by the true Dark Lord. Now bringing Bacon up to his feet for a discus, yeah, punch ya. Bacon bomb. European uppercut now. Marcantel all over Joey Bacon like peanut butter on jelly at the start of this matchup. Zach Cage at the ready in his corner. Should a tag need to be made? You know, El Jefe would love to get in there and get his hands on Marcantel. Powerbomb to the 500-pounder. Holy shit. The power. Now a gut wrench. Not just one either. Deadlift gut wrench suplexes, making Bacon out to be a ragdoll. Like it's no effort at all. What power being shown here by the harbinger of destruction. Looks for a rake of the eyes, but Joey Bacon's having absolutely none of that dirty heel-ish. Big old power belly to belly, I guess. And Bacon now gonna slap hands with Jefe, the 2-time light heavyweight champion. Gonna get his shot at revenge right here. Knife edge chop. Marcantel immediately looks to get the hell out of Dodge and tagging Zach Cage, but El Jefe ain't let him escape so quickly. Out onto the apron. Throwing caution to the wind. High-risk offense by the Arriba man. Springboard crossbody takes out Big Mark. Now boot to the top of the head. Make sure that Marcantel stays down, but not for very long. Back body drop. El Jefe goes for a ride up in the air and plummets back down to the canvas with a thud. Now Marcantel just getting a workout in. Tossing Vintage around the ring. They're a couple of fucking children. Good God. Dissecting El Jefe, and now tagged to Zach Cage, a former Anarchy champion in his own right, World Tag Team champion and International champion. In fact, Zach Cage and El Jefe have fought before, and Zach Cage was victorious earlier this season. El Jefe would love to get that one back as well, but his primary focus, you gotta believe, is getting one over Marcantel. El Jefe was the first man this season to, for this year's Rumble, to announce himself, to declare himself as a part of it. So he's got that to look forward to as well. I'm sure that Bacon gonna hope to get one of those 30 spots too. What a kick! Good God, knee to the throat. Talk about brutality. Zach Cage takes El Jefe for a stroll, but Jefe ain't up for a walk. This ain't no date. This ain't no little gant through the woods. Irish Whip to the corner instead. The human fish tags in Big Ham. And oh dear Lord above. Don't tell me. Oh. Leg drop from the second turnbuckle. by Joey Bacon as El Jefe had elevated him. If that's not enough, now trapped between those sweaty thighs. Face first off the mat. Elbow to the gut. Shoots in, only to catch a DDT. Punch to the back of the head now, and Zach Cage is at the mercy of the 500-pound absolute beast of a man. Tagged El Jefe, throwing him right into a body splash, then Bacon with a big old clothesline. Zach Cage catching that can of whoop ass. Remember tonight, guys, we have not one but two invitational matches. First up, it'll be Dule Zaire and Reese Matthews one-on-one. The two men who are currently at 0-2. One's going to finally get a win. And then in our main event, both men 1-0. Josh Wolf and Elijah Stewart, the rematch from Point Break. Who's going to 2-0? Who's going to 1-1? Oh, Zach Cage is about to get a big old taste of that fish dick, boy. Making sure he gets a big old whiff. Into the pin, two-man. Cage has been getting mauled by Vintage, and this may be enough. It is! Vintage! Kicking off Genesis with a win over the Seven Deadly Sins. Marcantel looking to be the furthest thing from happy. Man, at the end there, though, Cage got fucking brutalized. What teamwork by Vintage. And there's what did it. Zach Cage suffocated unconscious via a dose of fish dick. Marcantel couldn't even watch, turning his back. Vintage with the win and a big old hug to celebrate. Of course, I'm sure Hepburn would have preferred to pin Marcantel, but still a win's a win. Second matchup of the evening here for Genesis number 120, guys. Tyson Cage, former Fusion Tag Team Champion, goes head-to-head with Luke Swanson. Swanson, who we haven't seen since Point Break, where, of course, he defended as a part of the Genesis roster, defeating Adam Valentine. Now ready for the Royal Rumble. So is Tyson Cage. Both men out for momentum here in this one. Tyson Cage coming off of that huge victory over Kendall Wolf on the Point Break pre-show. Preparing for his new movie, Marvel's Moon Knight, set to launch within the next couple of months. Suntan, your big babe. Here he comes, Tyson Cage. Right on that huge wave of momentum, putting down Kendall Wolf. And how great would it be for Tyson Cage, with this new movie set to come out soon, winning the Royal Rumble and headlining Homecoming? That would be the best promotion tactic, I should say. Seems like general manager Castlefave has finally backed off of Luke Swanson after he put down Valentine at Point Break. Now can Swanson return to his winning ways? Not if Tyson Cage has anything to say. Luke Swanson. One of the most impressive newcomers we have had this season. Swanson scared a lot of people when he started slipping up and taking them losses. Failed to qualify for the Chamber, then defeated at the hands of Zach Smith. But Swanson proved he still has what it takes to get the job done no matter what at Point Break. And a tweet here, guys, from Adam Valentine says, "Of course she backs off when I failed. Swanson was obviously just a distraction from solving the conspiracy." Here we go. Tyson Cage, Luke Swanson, both men looking for Rumble momentum. Perry White rings that bell. First time encounter up next, guys. Guri Sukkanoff will go up against Bob Luger and Chris Andrews in a handicap match. Can the work at the Titan, the Alpha World Champion, remain on the same page for one night only? Knowing that they very well may be in the ring with each other at Absolution with the Alpha World title on the line. Should Bob Luger defeat Paul Anderson tomorrow night, and should Chris Andrews retain against whoever is put in front of him at Wild Card. Northern Light suplex there by Luke Swanson, guys. We've also got Zach Smith and Kevin Silva in tag action taking on Nicholas Hemmerling and Twisted later on. Stomped on onto the forearm Tyson Cage. Now getting taken to school. You do not want to wrestle with Luke Swanson. Brought up to his feet. Irish whip. Rebounds off the rope. Swanson waiting for him. Drop kick to the knee. Attempted. Moves out of the way to Tyson Cage with that knowledge to see it coming. Knowledge. I bet Luke Swanson drives around a Lamborghini in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what he's more proud of than that? Is the 3 new bookshelves he just had put in to hold more than the 200 new books he just bought. Knowledge. Jawbreaker, though, going to take out Tyson Cage. Sends him reeling. Luke now swoops in. European uppercut up against the ropes. Hey, you come here often good looking. Luke Swanson not letting up, though. Back. Wow, that was a nasty looking back suplex. Up over the shoulders. Luke Swanson has Tyson Cage exactly where he wants him, draped over the top rope, right down onto the sternum. Not too sure what happened there. Pin attempt, though. Make sure to hook the leg. 1. Just a 1 count. Josh Wolf tweeting at Adam Valentine saying, "Go hang out with Reese Matthews. I'm sure he'll help you with your conspiracy." Oh, figure 4 sharpshooter locked in by Luke Swanson, man. That's the damage of both of those already brutal submission holds brought together for one absolutely agonizing hold. But Tyson Cage able to escape after being locked in there a good while, though. You can see he's grabbing at his knee. That's not a good sign. Knife edge chop attempted. Luke denies it. Kick to the gut. Caught. Elbow to the top of the knee. Shoulder first in that steel post. And guys, I'm receiving word that Bob Luger and Chris Andrews have bumped into each other backstage and are arguing. Tempers are flaring just as expected. They are close, but luckily referees were right there on the scene to break it up. I knew they wouldn't be able to put their personal beef aside in order to work toward a common goal of taking out Guri Sukkanoff. Codebreaker by Tyson Cage. Luckily, before the fight could turn too bad, though, refs able to separate the two, and I'm getting word that the match is still on. How are they gonna maintain order? Wasteland followed by a senton by Cage, tries for the pin but only gets a 1 count. Hopefully, while this matchup still goes on, man, Luger and Britt can calm down a little bit and realize that Guri Sakura was what they got to worry about. He took out both of them last week. He could very easily do it again tonight if they don't work together. Forearm smash by Luke Swanson, quelling any sort of rebellion by Tyson Cage. Kick to the gut, and Luke Swanson gonna go for the duo butterfly suplexes, which all leads in to the butterfly facebuster. Splat on the canvas. Luke Swanson wipes the bead of sweat trickling down his face as now he takes a moment to pander to his fans and the haters in attendance. But in that moment, in those couple of seconds, Tyson Cage able to get back to his feet. Fireman's carry overhead and out, give it in. Back and forth, tit for tat. A tweet from Reese Matthews now at Josh Wolf says, "Keep my name out of your mouth, dog boy. I have an investigation to finish." Bye. Hopefully Reese, though, can put his investigation on hold to take on Dule Zaire later on tonight. And their invitational, man. Reese has been so distracted with his investigation. Lost to Adam Valentine, then to Dule Zaire in Reality Wrestling. He cannot afford to drop down to 0-3. He has got to get that one over Zaire. Punch to the top of the head. Looks like a suplex to follow it up. Vertical. Nicely done. Simple but effective. Very underrated matchup this has been. This could be a sleeper. Very good so far. Back and forth as Swanson looks to bring it to an end. Only gets a 2 count, though, with a hook of the leg. Tyson Cage! Canadian Destroyer! Out of nowhere! And the bona fide movie star looks to seal the deal. 1, 2, just a 2 count though. Man, a Canadian Destroyer is such a deadly move. For Luke Swanson to kick out of that really goes to show the heart that he has. Tyson Cage, though, feeling mighty good about himself right now. Trying to mark his territory as Luke's getting up to his feet, catches a punch to the back of the head. A second time, Canadian Destroyer by dashing Tyson Cage. Will that put Swanson down? 1, 2, 3. It will. Tyson Cage hits the final nail into the coffin and knocks off Swanson. Oh boy, wait a minute. Luke Swanson, that was a highly competitive matchup. Very back and forth. Swanson wants to show some respect, some good sportsmanship, and Tyson Cage is going to accept the handshake. Swanson beaten fair and square. And Tyson Cage with building that momentum, man, looking real good heading into the Rumble. There's one thing that can be said about Luger and Britt, is that they can take a good picture, you know? But after getting into an altercation with one another just moments ago, now Bob Luger and the Bloody Brick going to be paired in the ring as a team to take on Guri Sukhanov, the man who last week obliterated both men in their locker room, sent them to the local medical facility. And they were supposed to be competing on our main event, remember, 6-man tag team matchup. Guri Sukhanov having absolutely no problem being stacked up against both men in this matchup. More than willing to rip them both limb from limb. Guri Sukhanov losing his championship inside of the Elimination Chamber, then being beaten by Paul Anderson, then learning that Bob Luger could be joining his rematch for the Alpha World Championship at Absolution, just sent Guri right over the edge, letting his frustrations out by blindsiding Luger and Andrews last week. Tomorrow night on a wild card, guys, if Bob Luger can defeat Anderson, he will join the title match at Absolution. If Britt can retain, then obviously he'll be there. The one thing we know for sure is Guri will get the chance to become a 2-time Alpha World Champion next weekend. But the question hanging in the air tonight, can Luger and the Alpha World Champion, the Bloody Brick, can they work together to try and topple the Russian Ogre? What up, Hellish? And the 2-time CMV Alpha World Champion, the work ethic titan, the cardio maniac, Bob Luger exchanging blows with Chris Andrews just 10 minutes ago backstage. Luckily, before it could get too bloody between the two, referees, officials able to break them up. Bob Luger, if he can dispatch of Paul Anderson tomorrow night at Wild Card, will have the opportunity to make history, become the first ever 3-time Alpha World Champion. Paul Anderson eliminated Luger inside of the chamber at Point Break. Let's remember, at 2 weeks ago, Paul Anderson defeated Guri Sukhanov one-on-one, what very few men have been able to ever do, including Bob Luger and Chris Andrews. That's why Castle Fave is so confident that Anderson will beat Luger and deny him that chance. You can never count out Bob Luger, though. As now here comes the CMV Alpha World Champion, surviving that Elimination Chamber match at Point Break by taking a leap off the top of one of the pods and landing right in the back of Ray Furioso's head. Ray hasn't been the same since. Has his first defense tomorrow night at Wild Card against who? No idea. Your guess is as good as mine. Tyson actually got the win over Luke Swanson, and then they shook hands. Britt knows what it's like to be up against the odds. He's ready. Should his title be in jeopardy in a triple threat at Absolution. Britt's no idiot, though. You know, he's preparing as much as he possibly can for whichever superstar should be put in front of him tomorrow night. What up, Bogon, your little baby boy? But here we go. Guri Sukhanov up against Bob Luger and Chris Andrews in a handicap match. Referee Perry White rings that bell, and we're going to get it on right now. Oh, Guri goes for a drop kick. Luger goes for a calf kick. Both men miss. Had similar ideas. Whew. Luger going to attempt to scoop slam the 400-pounder. Yeah. Better luck next time. Rig of the eyes, though. And a big old discus clothesline. Shout out to his good brother Xander Slate in action later on tonight in our co-main event. Alongside Morton, of course, they take on Chaos and Order. Now laying down some punches to the top of Guri's head. Swinging neck breaker. Much as Bob Luger and Chris Andrews do hate each other, can't stand each other, they have to realize that taking out Guri, both of them. Bob Luger just flailing through the air like a child. Guri Sucking pretty much makes anyone who's up against him in that ring look like a dwarf. Oh no! Coconut crunch. Luger goes face first off of Suckunov's knee. And obviously up against two of the greatest Genesis superstars of all time, superstars in CMV period, Bob Luger and Chris Andrews, and it's a handicap match. You'd think that Guri's odds of walking out the winner are pretty much slim to none, but I ain't gonna say it can't happen. Guri's won handicap matches before, and he's beaten Chris Andrews twice, and he and Bob Luger did once go one-on-one and ended via a double countout. Here comes the Alpha World Champion, though, digging some knees right into the side of Suckunov's skull. Flopping. Perry White calls the action. Propping up the big man, gets an elbow to the ribs for his troubles. Now Guri goes for that straight right hook. Chris Andrews saw it coming, says, not so fast. Elbow to the side of the head. Gonna get it anyway. Oh, no. Doesn't knock down the rib, but the second one does. And now Guri taking it all in. Says no matter who he's in the ring with that absolution, he will become a two-time Alpha World Champion as he looks to beat Britt for a third time. That monstrous sit-out powerbomb. Luger ain't coming in to help. Britt has to rely on himself, and he does kick out at 2.99999. Now over the chest. 400 pounds, crushing down onto the sternum. Stiff kick to the back. Chris Andrews able to kick out, but not able to retaliate. There we go, now trip up. If I were Andrews, I'd want to make the tag to Bob Luger, but doesn't want to show weakness. Gut wrench suplex. Chris Andrews sends shots back. The absolute unparalleled strength of the CMV Alpha World Champion to pop up Guri and catch him with that German suplex, the cliffhanger he calls it. How do you just throw 400 pounds up into the air? Before Chris Andrews can try to pull off a little bit of revenge. Oh, there! Speaking of, Guri toppling like an ogre. Hooks the leg, just a 2 count though. Like a fucking tall oak tree, Guri plummeting down to the mat. I thought for a second Britt might look for a tag to Luger. Should know better than that. Irish whip to the opposite quarter, body splash. Bridge ricochet off his chest, go flying through the roof. Now, a tag to Luger. I gotta hold my breath again, fucking hiccups returning. Nope, they didn't leave. GG. GG no re. Luger trying to fight against the Goliath. Gets a shoulder claw of doom. Pressed down onto his tricep. Why am I hiccuping so much today? Oh no, now Britt. Oh, see his reaction. It's like he was happy and not too excited at the same time. Sit out powerbomb. 1, 2, just a 2 count. Guri fucking not just hanging in there with both of these guys, but dare I say, tearing them apart. Clothesline now. Luger popped back up to his feet, only to get another clothesline. Rebounds. Holy shit, the 400-pounder flying through the air for a lariat. Dude. Fuck off. Hiccups. Pop-up right hook. Luger with that jaw stone. Able to take it with a pinch of salt. Now, Luke, what strength by Bob Luger, Coney Island Cyclone to the former Alpha World Champion. That is some serious strength. 1, 2, just a 2 count. Looks like the Brit's trying to bark orders at Bob Luger. I don't think he's going to listen, though. Oh, no. Gurry trying for another powerbomb. Luger said, yeah, not so much. I'm good, though. Thanks. Now, Luger. Shades of Papa. Shades of his father, Lex. Out of the torture rack into a neck breaker. The neck and shoulders of Bob Luger. They're going to be hurting in the morning. A little bit of too sweet. As now he lines up the shot. Looks out this. Don't worry. Luger landing. Does suck it off in. Hooks that tree trunk of a leg. 1, 2. Just a 2 count. And Luger says, nope. Nah, you're going down, big man. Another Luger landing. Again to the pin. 1, 2, 3. Bob Luger does it. Certainly not going down easy. It took a revenge and 2 Luger landings to do so. Look at that, so caught up in the moment. Getting that victory over the Russian Ogre. Luger's like, come on, for a few minutes only. We'll celebrate together. As Gurry has been thwarted for now, but I'm sure he'll be coming back with a vengeance. Oh, guys, that's Brit on the turnbuckle. Luger from behind with a low blow to the Alpha World Champion. Sends him tumbling off the top rope down to the outside. Luger with a cheeky, devilish smirk. Yeah, you knew that was going to happen. They worked together long enough to dispatch of Guri, but there wasn't going to be any celebrating between the two. Guri, long gone as Britt is helped to the back by the official and Luger. Very proud of himself. Tag action up next year, our fourth bout of the evening for Genesis number 120. And Zach Smith, who has been on a roll as of late, set to team up with Kevin Silva to take on Nicholas Hemmerling and Twisted. Silva and Hemmerling, one-on-one, they will go at a 15-minute Iron Man match at Absolution next weekend. And Kevin Silva actually getting a fatal four-way win on this past Reality Wrestling. And Nicholas Hemmerling attacked him after the match had ended. The self-proclaimed Portuguese wrestling god makes one of his few appearances on Genesis. This is actually going to be the Genesis debut of the mighty Nicholas Hemmerling. Certainly got himself a hell of a tag team partner to watch his back in the Luchador Twisted. Zach Smith and Kevin Silva most definitely could be quite the pairing here. Nicholas Hemmerling, his first appearance on Genesis. Can he get one back from Silva before their final confrontation at Absolution? Up next, guys, for our tertiary main event. It is our first of two invitational matches tonight. Dule Zaire and Reese Matthews going to go head-to-head. Currently, the two of them sitting at 0-2. One of them's got to get a win finally. And in our main event, the rematch from Point Break, Elijah Stewart and Josh Wolf. One of them's going to go to 2-0. The other one going to go 1-1. Let's not forget Chaos and Order going against the former Chaos and Order of Seven Deadly Sins going up against the former World Tag Team Champions Xander Slate and Randy Orton is now. Here comes Twisted. $5 to whomever can figure out what language I was speaking there. Had a bit of a mini stroke, I think. You can see Kevin Silva and Zach Smith discussing strategy here as we are set for more tag team action Zach Smith starts things off against Nicholas Hemmerling. White gonna ring that bell and let's get it on. Meet face to face. Immediately Smith gonna take the Aussie down. Oh, with a vertical suplex reverse STO. Stomped onto the back of the head as Hemmerling was quickly trying to get back up to his feet. Zach Smith instead gonna put him right back down with a snap suplex. Shaky start for the mighty one. Now catches a stomp down onto the forearm, and Zach Smith gonna hoist him up by the waist, fling him through the air with a power bomb. Gut wrench power bomb. Nicholas Hemmerling needs to wake up real quick. There we go. Finally a bit of defense, and what a drop kick to fire off. Zach Smith, Irish whip it in the corner, already looking for an early tag. Not going to be able to get it, though. Smith goes for twisted, gets a kick to the side of the head, and then tags himself in. The man from Mexico, inadvertently hitting his own partner, apologizes. Hemmerling wants to get a piece of Smith before he returns to the apron, apparently. Maybe he doesn't even know he's been tagged out. Oh, but now a hot tag. Here comes Kevin Silva, the Portuguese wrestling god. Single leg drop kick. Big old leaping lariat. Twisted, continuing to get up, tries for it again. That time he's going to fly right by him. Sidestep, goes for a chop block. Double axe handle to the top of the head. Punch to the jaw. Now tucked between the legs, going for a ride. Power bomb. Oof. Twisted. Not looking too hot after that. Now receives a stomp. Clear to the gut. Kevin Silva backs into the corner. Lining up his sight, but in that moment, tag to Nicholas Hemmerling, and the two rivals going to get their hands on each other ahead of their final confrontation at Absolution. All these clotheslines not knocking Silva down. Jesus Christ. Clothesline after clothesline after clothesline after clothesline. Finally counters one, goes for a dropkick, moves out of the way, punch to the top of the head. Irish whip. Watch out, Zach Smith. Runs right into a fireman's carry. Counted by Hemmerling. Dropkick to the chest. Up to the top rope now. Swanton bomb. That's what Hemmerling utilized at Point Break to knock off Kevin Silva. Can he do it again here? He's going to try. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. No, just a 2 count. Oh, capture suplex. And Kevin Silva now done beating around the bush, gonna give Hemmerling a taste of the Olympic stretch. Targeting the midsection. And Nicholas Hemmerling is forced to submit. Kevin Silva gets an ultimate taste of revenge and actually ties the two of them up heading into Absolution. Kevin Silva got to be feeling real good, making Nicholas Hemmerling tap out to the Olympic stretch. Look at the way he just chucked him down to the canvas. Like, get the fuck out of here. It all comes to a head at Absolution in a 15-minute Iron Man match between the two. But tonight, Kevin Silva and Zach Smith also. Another win for Smith, the NGW alumni, man. really proven his worth these past couple of months. All right, guys, up next it is our tertiary main event of the evening for Genesis number 120. Cyborg Invitational action, guys, and actually got a little bit of an update. And Rhys Matthews' gum case was earlier today that Rhys Matthews had his suspicions about referee Perry White, the official here for Genesis, and was actually interrogating him when a woman masquerading as an assistant swapped an important number one suspect file. And Rhys had found juicy fruit in Perry's pocket, but lab results turned out that it was spearmint, not juicy fruit. It was spearmint that Rhys had stepped in when he had lost to Bob Luger and trying to qualify for the Point Break Elimination Chamber match. So obviously, referee Perry White was not the culprit. Even though I was told that Rhys Matthews took the juicy fruit, he didn't give it back. And he told referee Perry White, even though you weren't the one that spat out the spearmint, you're still a criminal in my book, fella. And reprimanded Perry White, gave him a citation. So Rhys Matthews, guys, is still without a prime suspect. Remember, as I talked about in Rowdy Wrestling, Rhys Matthews has given the gum culprit a chance to reveal himself tomorrow night at Wildcard. Matthews said he'll be in the ring, and before he exposes this disgusting, revolting creature who spat out the gum, he's going to give them the opportunity to come out themselves. But right now, Rhys, he has been letting this gum investigation cloud his mind and distract him. He already lost to Adam Valentine. He lost to Rhys Ortiz quickly also on Reality Wrestling. And then Ortiz attacked him after the match, too, to send a message to the rest of the Invitational competitors. Ortiz currently at top 2-0. Both of these men 0-2. Dulé losing to Ortiz, and then last week with a loss to Josh Wolf. One of these guys finally going to get a win while the other drops down to the very bottom of the brackets with no chance to place first. So that Alpha World Championship shot gonna fade away for the loser here. Of course, our main event tonight, going to see the rematch from Point Break between Elijah Stewart and Josh Wolf. Both men 1-0. Someone's going to go up to the top to tie Reese Ortiz for the lead, while the other drops down to the middle. But here we go. Zaire and Matthews. And maybe Zaire is a suspect. You know, he owns a bar. People often chew gum in bars. You know, they leave it up under the stools. There's just simply too many suspects. I gotta wonder if referee Perry White's gonna call this match fairly after Ortiz was so rude to him. But Dulé Zaire, we all know, has his own issues with Perry White as well. Can White remain unbiased? These two guys he's in the ring with right now. Brett Angel currently away at referee boot camp, training to become the new Genesis referee. He and Zaire with White. While Zaire tries to focus on the Invitational. Irish Whip reaching to catch him on the rebound with a rotation neckbreaker. Up next, of course, in our co-main guys tag team action, as from the 7 Deadly Sins, Chaos and Order take on Xander Slate and Randy Borton of Click. Reese Matthews with some dirty heel tactics. Maybe finally has his head of the game here. Irish Whip rebounds off the ropes right into a nice little hip toss, belly to belly slam, kick to the shoulder to follow through. Stomp down onto the lower spine. And now Zaire going to slowly bring him up to his feet, down on one knee, punch to the top of the head. It is tomorrow night, guys, April the 7th, the second annual wild card, where every single Genesis champion will defend their title against a completely unknown challenger. Every superstar on the Genesis roster eligible, whoever gets randomly selected, nice counter there by Zaire, into another one of those hip toss belly-to-belly slams. We've also got Bob Luker taking on Paul Anderson. If Luker can defeat Anderson, he will be added to the Alpha World title match at Absolution, making it a triple threat. But will Britt be the champion come then? He will have to defend against whomever is put in his way. And then Reese Matthews will go one-on-one. Or maybe we'll go one-on-one if the gum spitter reveals himself. For weeks, Reese has been so preoccupied with this investigation, it's consumed his life. Hopefully it'll finally come to an end and Reese can go back to focusing on what matters. I don't know why he's let this gum thing get to his head so much. Rolling neck snap by the former undisputed champion, follows through with a double axe handle down onto the chest. Stomp to the chest. And we are just 1 week away, guys. It is next week, and again, it's scheduled for the 15th, Sunday. But this Sunday I'm going to do some test streams because, as we know, for Regicide, for Point Break, and Dark Carnival, every Sunday I stream it lag, so I'm going to do some tests. So hopefully it will stay on Sunday, but if not, then it will be on the 16th on Monday. So I'm going to be taking a week break anyway after Absolution because of me and Cop's schedule. I have to make sure that things don't align down the road. So it's either going to be on Sunday or Monday. Next Sunday or next Monday. Absolution, guys. Not one, but 2 Royal Rumble matches. Paul Devine defends his world title against 29 other Fusion superstars. And, of course, the actual Royal Rumble taking place as well, where the winner will headline the 3rd annual homecoming for a world title match. They're choosing Reese Matthews, reverse DDT. Oh, Reese Matthews. Vintage right here, knee to the face, and a discus clothesline to follow it up. Reese is already faring a lot better against Dulé than he did against Adam Valentine and Reese Ortiz, as now he immediately looks to finish. Reese, can he finally get a win in the Invitational? Single underhook facebuster, busts Zaire wide open, aggressive pin, stay down. 1, 2, just a 2 count. Even though Zaire has taken losses in the Invitational, his matchup against Reese Ortiz and his match against Josh Wolf last week were both bangers. Zaire bleeding from a gash on his forehead. He's not looking too hot, but still there's fight left in him yet. Irish Whip to the corner. Matthews could be in dire straits. Able to counter, but catches the knee to the face anyway. Hook to the jaw now from behind. Looks like a dragon suplex right down onto the neck, and Zaire beefing himself up. That gas tank running on fumes. But he ain't done just yet. Shoulder thrust to the midsection. Sunset flip powerbomb to the outside. Holy shit. And then an elbow drop to the thigh. To follow it up, you can see Zaire grabbing at his head, risking a concussion. That fan and the the track pants and blue sweatshirt right there, very excited about watching this matchup. Oh, on the outside with a suplex, and not just one, 2 amigos, now a back suplex by Dulé. And remember, countouts, disqualifications are effective in the Invitational. last year's Invitational, we saw Travis King, actually the winner. One of his matches went to a double countout against Andrew Briggs. Oh, Reese getting chucked right into the barricade with that monkey flip. Count of 5, guys, and we're getting dangerously close to this matchup ending in a countout, which would mean a draw, which means both these guys would still remain at 0-2, and then 1 in the draw column. And Zaguri to counter by Reese. Can he get this fight back into the ring? Yes, he can. Save of the day, the former undisputed champion ensures that we will have a decisive winner here. Lateral press, 1. Just a 1 count, though. Dulay's there. Reeling Reese Matthews in for an arm wrench. Sends him crashing down to the mat. Damn, it looks like he might have. And Zaire's just waiting. Looks how he shakes his head again. Oh, Zaire! 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 The last laugh! The last laugh by Zaire! Reese! 1, 2, 3! Dulay Zaire! Goes to 1-2. Reese drops down to 0-3, which means his hopes of placing him first are dashed. Dulay Zaire, victorious after the last laugh, finally gets a win. Oh, maybe some respect shown between these two. Zaire offers the handshake, and Reese going to accept it. He needs to calm down. A nice sign of sportsmanship. Oh, but wait a minute. Reese adding him down? Zaire is just like, he's so stunned that he's frozen. Zaire, I think Reese is frisking him right now. Is he looking for gum? Wait a minute, now he just tripped Zaire and he's looking under his boots. Reese not finding any evidence though, and Zaire is just shocked as Reese leaves the ring in a huff. He thought that maybe Dulay was the gum culprit, but once again he hits a brick wall. Tomorrow night on Wildcard, will the gum spitter reveal himself? We'll just have to wait. Zaire, I don't think has ever been felt up like that before. He's a bit taken back. But now it is time for our co-main event, my friends, as from the 7 Deadly Sins, Chaos and Order. The brothers Audrey take on Clicks, Xander, Slate, Randy Borton. Slate and Borton, of course, have their rematch set for Absolution. Who will they be facing for the gold, though? Will imaginary friends defend against, or retain, rather, in their defense against whomever they're up against tomorrow night at Wildcard? We'll have to wait and see, but Slate and Borton, since losing their titles, have been starting to slowly build up momentum. Last week, Xander Slate knocking off Freddie Osborne one-on-one. We know that Chaos and Order are trying to bud their heads into the championship picture. Win here over the number 1 contenders, most definitely will put their names towards the top of the rankings. And remember, still to come in our main event, more Cyborg Invitational action. The rematch from Point Break. Bitter foes, Elijah Stewart and Josh Wolf 1-on-1. And a tweet here from Bob Luger says, Reese turns into a joke as soon as he leaves Click. Says a lot. I think Reese is honestly starting to go a little bit insane. Bob Luger taking shots, though. For anybody, Bateman, like last year's wild card, we had Crow and Adam Adams fighting for the Fusion Tag Team titles, and then it was Kaiva and Josh Wolf fighting for the World Tag Team title. So it's anybody, any superstar on the Genesis roster could be paired together. We could see, Joey Bacon and fucking Lucifer Sin be a tag team. And a tweet here from Josh Wolf ignoring Bob Luger. Or, why would you ignore Bob Luger? I thought that was from Reese for a second. Joshua says, no man deserves it more. Congrats, Zaire. Wonder how Josh feels about that cavity check, though. The brothers Audrey, a part of these 7 Deadly Sins, former contenders for the World Tag Team titles, fought Nick Blake and Zach Cage on the grandest stage of all, sentence 4 for the gold. The 7 Deadly Sins didn't have such a great start to Genesis tonight. Marcantel and Zach Cage taking the L to Vintage. As here they come. Xander Slate and Randy Borton. The Good Brothers are in the house. Earlier tonight, Bob Luger able to get a handicap win alongside the Bloody Bear over Gary Selkonoff. Then afterwards, low blowing the Alpha World Champion. That was after they had gotten into a backstage confrontation as well. Xander Borton can win here, pass off the momentum to Elijah Stewart up next in our main event. Absolution could certainly prove to be a fortuitous night for Click. Bob Luger could be a part of the Alpha World Championship match. Click, Xander Slate and Borton get their rematch for the World Tag Team titles. Chaos and Order trying to act like they're not all too impressed here, but they know that this win could shoot them right up to the top of the rankings, as it'll be Namian starting things off against Xander Slate. Referee Perry White rings the bell and we get it on now as Slate goes right behind single knee gutbuster. Last week it was John Reed, the leader of the seven Deadly Sins, who lost his Anarchy Championship in a Match of the Year candidate to D'Angelo Prince. Prince makes his first defense tomorrow night at Wildcard against an unknown challenger, of course, but John Reed has told me that he is looking to cash in his rematch clause against whomever the champion will be next week on Genesis, the go-home edition before Absolution. So whether it's D'Angelo Prince, who's still champion, or whether it's whoever wins the title, John Reed looking to get it back either way next week here on Genesis. John Reed, of course, has also declared himself for the Royal Rumble match. Now, last year's Royal Rumble, John Reed entered at number 30. Nearly got the win. I think he was in the last 4 as well. Maybe this year he can finally do it. Will he be Anarchy Champion come then? We'll have to wait and see, as now it is Radar, the legal man, against Xander Slate. Interesting rotation neckbreaker. Xander clipping the back of his head off the shoulder. We've had some real bangers this past week in CMV. We also had that Match of the Year candidate between Bison and Paul Devine in the main event of Fusion. Oh, Xander! A little bit of a lasso from El Paso. Locked in here on Reynard, who's trying to crawl his way over to Borton for whatever reason, or get to those ropes, guys. Xander, let's go. Didn't look like Reynard was going to escape. Slate sensing that he wasn't going to get the submission. Wasting his time. Jawbreaker distance. Oh! Woo! Clipping Slate with that spinning Euro uppercut. Stopping him from slapping hands with Borton. Here comes the Milkman trying to help out his good brother, but a senton instead. A little bit too late. Oh! Reynard mocking Click here by holding up the Too Sweet symbol. Gonna drop double boots to the side of the head. Reynard doing a very good job right now of controlling Xander Slate, the CMV veteran. First ever Money in the Bank winner, 2-time world champion, United States champion. He and Borton nearly broke 2 records. They were a day away from breaking 2 records in their 5-month reign as World Tag Team champions. Crosses the arms, Straight jacket DDT attempted, nearly dropped, but Reynard going to escape with a trio of punches to the ribs, and then a spear by Reynard. Borton stunned momentarily. Reynard Irish whip into the corner. Looks to make that tag to Brother Namian. Go for that devastating assisted tombstone pile driver of theirs. Namian has him set up. Reynard off the ropes. And Borton drilled down to the mat. I think I heard the crack of his skull from over here. 1, 2. Oh, but Borton digging down deep as only he can. The Milkman, also a former Money in the Bank winner and world champion, decides to taunt in the face of Reynard. Namian coming up from behind to make him pay for that. Looks to tag Reynard right back in. Borton has other plans in mind. Irish whip over to Slate. Just going to stare at him. And here's a tag to the OG Dirty Heel, the former World Tag Team Champions. Xander with them. Oh, God. Stomping out the back of the knee. That is just... And now locking in the lasso from El Paso again. Looking to worsen the damage to the knee. Will the man be forced to tap out? No, he escapes. Just in the nick of time. And then tags in Reynard so that he can nurse his knee. The representation of chaos catches the hook to the jaw, jumping neckbreaker from behind by Xander. Imaginary friends, the current World Tag Team Champions, obviously know both of these teams very well. Freddie and Smiley are ready for whomever will challenge them for their titles tomorrow night at Wildcard. Their second reign as World Tag Team Champions. Big old sit-out powerbomb by Xander. Now from behind. Crossroads by Xander Slate. Immediately into the pin. Hoping that will be enough, and perhaps it will. Just a 1 count. This is the co-main event of Genesis. Number 120. No! Xander! Slate by Slate is locked in. Slate by Slate is locked in. Reynard's in big trouble. And he taps. Click are victorious over the brothers Audrey. The number 1 contenders for the World Tag Team titles put down, but could have been some serious competition. Here's where we thought Chaos and Order might have it won. Earlier on in the match, after that assisted tombstone pile driver. But Bort was able to survive. But here's what did it in for Reynard, a rolling cutter. And what that wasn't enough to get the pin, Xander locks in his debilitating submission hold. Slayed by Slate. And a great night for Click thus far. Let's see if in our main event Elijah Stewart can cap things off by putting down Josh Wolf once again. This being a rematch from Point Break, guys, where these two beat the holy hell out of each other. It was Elijah Stewart who ended up emerging with the victory. And guys, let's touch on the subject that Josh Wolf still isn't technically a superstar of Genesis, nor is he signed to Fusion. He's pretty much a free agent. But Castle Fave allowing him to compete as a part of the Invitational. Both these guys are 1-0. One of them will join Reese Ortiz at the top of the rankings. Tied for first, the other down towards the middle. But this is even more the personal issues they have with each other than the Invitational. We know what the winner who places in first gets a shot at the Alpha World Championship, and the superstars who place in second, third, and fourth compete in a mini game of Feast and Fired. 3 briefcases will be laid out in front of them. In one is a mid-card title shot, and another a tag team title shot, and then the third a pink slip. So one of the 6 men in the Invitational, Elijah Stewart, Josh Wolf, Reese Matthews, Adam Valentine, Reese Ortiz, the Dulaze will be fired by the time the Invitational wraps up. They'll be fired from Genesis. They'll have to find work elsewhere. Hopefully, Johnny Sampson or Yuri Sokolov will be fortunate enough to open up the doors of Fusion. Main event time for Genesis number 120. And the Good Vibes Kid, 2-time Alpha World Champion Elijah Stewart, is ready to put down Wolf once again. Last time these two fought at Point Break, and after the match, they actually shook hands. And Joshua told us that he respects Elijah Stewart as an in-ring competitor, and that's what that handshake was about, nothing more. He still doesn't forgive him about turning his back on the Resistance and joining Click. I don't think Elijah Stewart really cares if Josh Wolf forgives him or not, though. The vessel of Fenrir, Josh Wolf, and his time on Fusion was actually tearing through the roster, was on quite the winning streak, but then got put down by Eli at Point Break. Wolf would love to rewrite that wrong here. The inaugural and 2-time Rising Star champion. Would know that sacrificing Stewart to Fenrir would be quite the treat. Here we go. Elijah Stewart, Josh Wolf, one-on-one in the Cyborg Invitational matchup. Both these guys are currently at 1-0. One of them's going to join Ortiz, tied for first place. The other drops down. Referee Perry White rings the bell. Here we go. Wolf explodes out of the gate like a bull out of its pen. Tilt-the-world DDT. Fiery start from Wolf, who helps Elijah up to his feet like the kind humanitarian that he is. Tries to close in, gets a punch to the peck for his troubles. Elijah Stewart tries to adjust Wolf's attitude, drops down behind, reversal fest right out of the gate. There ain't no beating around the bush between these two. They ain't going to be calling elbow ties, so they're not going to feel each other out. They're going right at it a million miles a minute. Elijah Stewart, inverted atomic drop. One is not enough, though. Let's get another needle where the sun don't shine, the nether region, the gonads. Gonna be feeling that now and in the morning. Monkey flip sends Josh Wolf crashing right into the corner. Wasting no time. Forearm smash to the chest, gets a kick to the gut to retaliate. Fireman's carry overhead, gonna drop Wolf down on his rear end. Front hand lock has been a great night for Click so far. Can Elijah Stewart wrap it all up? Heading into Wild Card tomorrow night. And of course, Absolution next weekend. Into the midsection, followed by Hurricane Rana. Elijah Stewart, very proud of himself there. Josh Wolf takes a second, catches his breath on the outside, runs right back in. Oh, and tries to one-up Elijah, but the Hurricane Rana reversed into an alley-oop. Face first, and on the top turnbuckle went Wolf. Excellent reversal. Punch to the top of the head. And that's not going to be all. The fuck is Eli doing? No. Arm smash to the back of the head. Right to the base of the skull. Elbow drop to the thigh to follow. And Elijah's not done either. Stewart goes for good vibes. Josh Wolf, though, knows him too well. Ducks the clothesline, gets it anyway. Up to the top rope. The good vibes kid throws caution to the wind, soars through the air. The lowdown does not fully connect. In fact, it looks like he might have hurt himself more than he did Josh. Misses that stomp. Gets it the second time. Now we're going to go for the legs of Wolf. Puts him up into a seated position. Kick to the, right to the chest. God damn. Up over the shoulders. Elijah Stewart has something in mind here. Oh, clotheslining. Josh Wolf on that top rope. Right back up to his feet, though. You can't keep Wolf down for long, baby. Pull back Hurricanrana. There we go. Making up for what happened at the top of the show. Only a one count. It was announced earlier this week on Fusion that the main event of this next Fusion, the Go Home for Absolution, Pierre Thompson is cashing in his rematch clause and will challenge new champion Alistair Knox for the title. Good vibes by Elijah, turns to the crowd, still out there supporting him. Well, some anyway. Oh man, now Elijah Stewart just showing disrespect to Josh Wolf, psyching him out with that stomp. Elijah goes for the Book of Eli. Josh Wolf catches the kick though. And now Wolf. What the? Figure four sharpshooter. The ropes are right there. Elijah gets the break. Wolf angrily has to release the hold. He has no choice as he tries to close in. Drop toe hold though. Punch to the chest and a quick takedown by Elijah Stewart, who now is on the hunt himself. The Book of Eli. That's exactly what he used to put down Josh at Point Break. Will it be enough here again tonight? 1, 2, no! Yes, Absolution is next weekend. It will either be the 15th or the 16th. I'm hoping the 15th. If not, the 16th is Elijah paying homage to his good brother Xander Slade with the Slade by Slate locked in. Wolf, though, not hanging around in it for too long. Not one, but 2 Royal Rumble matches next weekend. Of course, for the first time ever, a championship will be defended in a Royal Rumble match. Paul Devine puts his title on the line against 29 other Fusion superstars. And, of course, the actual Rumble, where the winner will headline Homecoming 3 for a world title match of their choosing. Hurricanrana by Josh Wolf. Let's out a mighty roar. Ooh, ah! The big dog channeling his energy, spinning soul kick. Irish whip. Single boot to the chest. Single boot to the chest again and goes for a clothesline. Reels him in for a rotation neckbreaker. Josh is feeling it. Oh no. Josh, I think, may have shot for his DDT. At least he counters the counter to counter the counter. Back suplex to Fenrir. At this point, man, this has been better than their Point Break matchup. Wolf up to the top, takes a risk of his own. Senton landing on Elijah's chest and arm. I don't think that's exactly what he was intending for. Now, on the second attempt, the DDT, not too much oomph behind it. Late into this one, Josh Wolf is tired, but he's still able to stay alive. Elijah Stewart feeling the hurt. Oh, as Josh Wolf looks to maybe fucking break his wrist. Just stomping on the hand. Good God. The bloodlust of Wolf cannot be satiated. Fenrir's appetite knows no bounds. Oh, cheeky little roll through up onto the shoulders. Air raid siren set up for a neck breaker down onto the knee. Now Wolf is opening that can of whoop ass all over Eli. Hooks the leg, just a 2 count. The 2-time Alpha World Champion, no matter what whom he may be aligned with. Woo! Elijah always goes to that ring and pours his heart and soul out, but Wolf doesn't give a shit about that. He only cares about putting Eli down, stun, click, and going up in the rankings. The jaws of Fenrir. 1, 2, 3, and Josh Wolf puts down Elijah. and goes to 2-0, now tying Ortiz for the lead. Josh Wolf endured the onslaught of the Good Vibes Kid early on to come back and finish things off with the jaws of Fenrir. Elijah now 1-1. He's going to join the middle of the brackets along with Adam Valentine. Josh Wolf caps off Genesis number 120 with a definitive victory, and one that's got to feel real good for him. What a match, though. All right, guys, as always, if you like what you saw and you do want to see more, make sure you do follow me. Exclamation point CMV will give you more information about us. Exclamation point join will give you a link to our website, cmvwrestling.com. Official CMV underscore. Whoops. CMV underscore is our Twitter. You can follow us for updates, match cards, all that kind of good stuff. And Point Discord, if you are interested in joining, make sure you join that. And, of course, we will finish all the past episodes on my YouTube channel. Forgot to mention that, too. Let's see what parting words DJ Khaled has for us. Good morning. That's what we're going to finish things off with, guys. Good morning from DJ Khaled. I will catch you guys tomorrow for Wild Card. I'm going to probably be live around 2, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, you'll know on our website. I'll give you an update. So I hope to see you there. You little beautiful bastards. Catch you on the flip side.